What I want to do in this video, ladies, is I want to really make it clear about what sex means to the male species, because one thing that women seem to be hung up on is thinking that men think the same way that we do, and in that you'd expect the same things from him in relation to intimacy, to sex, to relationships, in regard to dating as well. You expect the same things, and I would say that I understand it because I used to think that way as well. I used to feel like because I think this and I feel like this, then that means that he should, or that he does, or that he will. And it's like, no, honey, because he's a completely different person to you and an entirely different gender, using predominantly one side more of his brain than you do, and they just work very differently. They calculate things differently, and they think very differently to how we do as women on a whole. So when you go into something thinking that a man is going to react, think, and make decisions the same way that you do, you are being very naive and a little bit silly. Like I said, I was there before, but I'm not there anymore. And I want to help women to understand how men think in relation to sex, so that women can stop being trampled all over, being slept with, then left, and just setting yourself up to be the victim and to come out on the bottom when you need to come out on top, honey. Okay, so we're going to be setting you up for that. Also, don't forget to go over onto my Patreon. Then you will be able to vote for topics that you want, and there are lots of other benefits within the tiers that I'm very excited about. So yes, if you would like to, then check out my tiers on my Patreon. And also, if you want consultations for femininity or relationships or dating, check the description box. All of that is below. Now let's get into the topic. First things first, you might be thinking, well, hun, how do you know all of the tea? How do you have the information? Men never disclose anything to us. They never say anything. They have this man code and they keep it amongst themselves, and women are none the wiser to how they actually think and how they operate. They have each other's back with that, in terms of how they operate, how they think, and also how they like to keep women in the dark. They seem to have this knowing amongst themselves that, you know, they just seem to know that we don't discuss certain things with women. But I happen to have male connections family, okay, who have told me the real tea. So we're going to be getting into this, and I'm excited to get other women in the know, because women need to be in the know. You deserve to be in the know, so let's get you there. First things first, okay, because one thing that happens with women is, because we're more emotionally driven, whether it's sensitivity, whether it's anger, whether it's whatever, you are more emotionally driven, more emotionally charged, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't know why, first of all, women get touchy about men saying that women are more emotional. Yes, we are, and it keeps us safe. Okay, because we're more in touch with our gut, more in touch with our instincts, more in touch with our emotions, and it keeps us safe. Okay, so I'm very happy to be a woman who's more emotionally charged. I'm very happy with that, and you should be too, as long as you know how to control things. So women do predominantly choose decisions based upon their feelings to whatever decision it is that they're making. So when it comes to intimacy and deciding to go to that next level with a man, some women will do it after an hour of meeting them. Some women might do it that evening. Some women, it might take them a week, might take them a month, it might take them 5 months. Every single woman is different, and of course there are pressures within that. And also on my Patreon, I do discuss sexual pressure, how to deal with it. So there is a video on my Patreon over there about that. Every woman's timing for wanting to do that is going to be different, right? Depending on her emotional stance on the situation. But most of the time, she's doing it because she likes him. I've never heard of a woman saying, I hate him so much, I just wanted to really be in the most intimate predicament with him in the world. I've never heard a woman say that before, ever in my life. I've never heard that, and I've never felt like that or thought that for myself before. So there are lots of reasons why women choose to be intimate with men. Some of them, just to give you a couple of examples, some of you sleep with men out of desperation, wishing, hoping, dreaming, longing for that person to hopefully, possibly, potentially become attached to you. So there's that. Another thing is, some of you actually don't like yourselves, so you're just, trying to be horrible to yourselves by giving away your body to people. So it can come out of trauma-based emotion as well. Then of course there are the connection feelings. So you can have a real connection with this person and you literally just want to take things to the next level, or you can just be curious and you want to see what that thing is going to be like, and if it can give you a feeling that maybe another man has been unable to ever give you, because let's be completely honest, most men don't know what they're doing. That part. So they are a couple of reasons why women usually go in and decide to choose to sleep with somebody. But men are very different. Not very, totally different. Totally different. We're going to dive into this because this is where the real information lies. What I have been told is that men choose to sleep with women out of there are a variety of reasons, and here are a couple of top ones that you must be aware of before you decide to share your body with somebody. Here goes. Curiosity. Oh honey, curiosity. Okay, curiosity. Lots of men just want to sample different vaginas, and this is something we all know. We all know this. We all know this. We all know this. We all know this. And that is married men, men who are engaged, men who are in relationships, men who are single, men who have never been in a relationship, men who are divorced, men who are entangled, men who are separated. All men get curious and they want to sample different vaginas. Whether they actually do it or just think about doing it or watch it online is totally different. We're not getting into that right now, but what we're getting into is the reason why lots of men can choose to want to go there with you. So that's one of them, curiosity. Another one is that men have to physically release in order to not have physical pain down there. We all know this, okay? We all know that as well. So whether it's you, whether it's your auntie, whether it's your cousin, whether it's your nan, they are going... That sounded wrong, okay? It depends how old he is. Let me make that clear. It depends how old he is, okay? If he's 18, I don't think he wants to be doing that with your nan. If he is 75, he may want to, who knows? So I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But people have different preferences. Let's not judge people, okay? People have different preferences. So at the end of the day, girl, he might want to do that with you just because he needs to release. So whether it's going to be you, whether it's going to be with his hand, whether it's okay, he's still going to be doing it anyway. Whether that act happens with you present or not, it's still going to happen. So some men will use you on that basis. Then of course there is the basis of him actually being interested and genuinely liking you and wanting to explore things with you. Then of course there is the basis of men solely wanting to sleep with you because they feel sexually charged, and it's all aimed and pointed in your direction, because some men can just look at you as a sexual object and just want to sleep with you. You could be the loveliest woman in the world. He doesn't care about all that. He just wants to do what he feels like his body wants to do with you, and that's that. And he will say whatever it takes to get you there just because he wants to get you there. Now we've done that, we're getting to the real nitty-gritty, okay? This is the real juice. This is the real gem that we're about to dive into right now. One thing women must understand and appreciate is this, what I'm about to tell you, because this is going to change your life forever. A huge percentage of men only know for sure if they like you after they have slept with you. I'm going to repeat that. Most of the men you sleep with only know if they even want to deal with you again is after they have used you in that way. And I'm going to say used because from a woman's standpoint, that is how it is perceived. But of course, from a man's standpoint, it's not. It's very different because that's the natural way for them to figure out whether they like you or not. So for us, it feels like, wow, okay, you really did all of those, you know, all of that romantic talk to me. You really told me everything you thought I wanted to hear. You really acted interested. You really messaged me every day. You really took me out on these dates and did all of these things. And I get to that point and I sleep with you and now you're gone. Or you start acting different, you start pulling away, or then apparently you're entangled with somebody or you're in a relationship after I went and did that with you. Really? And the reasons why are going back to the reasons why men are sleeping with you in the first place. They are the reasons why. They are your answers. Hi ladies, brief interval from me. There's something that I forgot to mention. I'm editing and I just realized. So there's something that I like to call the wish of disappearance, which is another thing that I was informed about. So it's essentially when you have slept with someone, well, a man has slept with you, and after the act, he feels like he wishes that you would just disappear. And it's not anything malicious, it's just that they realize that they're just not into you anymore and they've already explored what they want to explore. So this is something as well that will hinder you from wanting to just jump into bed with people and to really take the time to get to know somebody before you go to that level. You really don't want the wish of disappearance to be wished when you are in that vicinity. It's just not something that we really want for ourselves. So, little heads up, and let's get back to the video. At the end of the day, ladies, if they sleep with you, there is literally about, I don't know, let's just say a 50% chance, 40% chance that he is actually going to want to deal with you afterwards. That's a very, very low percentage chance of him even being interested in you after the act. So that would tell me that us women on a whole should be thinking very, very carefully and be very, very particular and selective when we are deciding to sleep with somebody. So of course I would like to urge you ladies to really think about your decision process before choosing to jump into bed with somebody, before choosing to do that, because when you have this knowledge and you know what I just told you, and then you go and you decide to do a one-night stand with somebody and want them to call you back and then they never do, you can't be mad about it because you know this information. When you decide to sleep with somebody without having any other benefits, so you're pouring into them, you're giving them everything. You're giving them your time, your affection, your emotions, your heart, your going above and beyond for them. You're putting them first, putting them on a pedestal, not accepting any gifts from him, not allowing him to treat you, not being paid for. He's not even paying for your dates, okay? Or you're dating somebody who can't even afford to pay for dates and you're not even able to have that really exciting dating experience and you're still choosing to sleep with them. You are doing yourself a disservice. After you know this information, I feel like that is on you. And of course we can make incorrect decisions. Sometimes you can think that somebody wants the best for you and that he's being sincere and genuine and honest, but if he isn't even having to pay for things, if he isn't even having to romance you and go into his pocket and take out his card and treat you like a woman, like a lady, and for him to feel like, okay, well, you know, she kind of needs me, I'm looking after her, or I'm paying for dates, I'm doing something nice for her, he's going to be less likely to just do the act, do the bedroom activities and then leave, because he's invested more into you. He's invested more time, more money and more thoughts as well, by having to plan dates and be more thoughtful, more mindful of you and try to romance you and all of that jazz. So it works out better for you, for women, for us, if you actually allow this man to treat you, spend money on you, invest his time into you, court you, and of course only sleep with you once you are ready, once you feel like, if he actually ditched me today after I decide to do this act with him, would I feel like I have just made the worst decision? Would I feel like I just want to crawl into a pit? Or would I feel like, okay, he's silly because he's invested this much, okay, I have gained this much, and he looks stupid and he didn't even know what he was doing. That's where your mindset will be once you are only choosing to go to that next level with people after they have actually invested things into you, instead of just taking from you, taking your body, taking all of the lovely emotions and love and nurture and whatever that you're giving to them. You need to receive. Stop giving everything. You need to receive. Women, it's time for you to receive, and you will feel happier, and you will stop being the underdog. You'll stop being, you know, the person who gets left, and you'll stop being the person who is being used all the time, because you will know this information. You can tell your friend this information and avoid your friend having to deal with certain things perpetually. Okay, being used and left, and not understand what is going on, what's happening, how men are thinking, not understanding any of that, because men keep it to themselves. But now I'm telling you the information, I'm giving you the tea, I'm giving you the keys. You're then able to spread this message, share this video and get this knowledge out. And if you don't want to share it individually, then of course thumbs up and YouTube will kind of do the rest, I guess, hopefully, because this topic needs to get out. This is information that women need, because women have been so lovely to men since the beginning of time. And what have men done? And I'm not bashing lots of men, but I'm just saying there is a very common theme in terms of women feeling like they have been used physically and then discarded of. Okay, it's something that has happened to lots of women, and the reason why is because women don't have this knowledge, so they're not able to make decisions based upon this knowledge of how men think. They're only making decisions based on the knowledge that they have, which is how they think themselves, so that's what they're going off of. But men think very, very differently, and they don't disclose that information with women. But I'm going to leave this video here. I don't want the message to get lost in a super long video, so share, thumbs up, comment below what your views are on this, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.